Hi, my name is Agata. Welcome in Agata's Cottage. I have a video review, kind of sewing journals I got in last few months. Spoiler alert, I'm not good at using sewing journals. So I got this sewing journal a few years ago as a gift for Secret Santa. It's relatively basic and it doesn't have all the things that I thought I needed. So I went out to look for something more advanced. So this sewing journal has designer, size, it's for deadline, notions, there's a place for sketch, place for fabric swatch, and the notes. And when you add number of fabric swatches, it gets big, and I'm not even halfway through and it's already quite big. But I was missing things like what machine settings I used, or any things that I would do differently. Like I could fit in everything in the notes area, but it is very cramped. So I went on the limb and I bought the same sewing journal Ruan is using. So that's the sewing journal Ruan recommended. Ruan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl. It's I see Ruan, like I assume everyone knows who she is, like she's Rihanna, but she kind of is. So this one is a bit more advanced. It has more space. I haven't started using it yet, and I'm not sure I will, but about that in a minute. So this one has date started, date finished, the name, the pattern, the type, whatever it's personal or not, for whom it is, if there is a theme, the cost. You have space for measurements, sketch, machine setting, notions, things you need to do. There's option for the color scheme, and there is a fabric swatch. There are ideas and notes, results, and future makes. And it seems like there's a lot of informations you can put in. However, the things that are like I would like to be more is this part, because it's very tiny. So I don't know if you can see, there isn't that much space. And if you have long name of the pattern, you are not using the big 4 pattern where it's just a number. You have a pattern that has a name. It's a bit short, let's call it like that. And as I said, I'm not sure I will use it. And because I do like all the notes, all like the notepads, all the calendars, my preferred size, I think it's B5, so it's kind of smaller than A4 but bigger than A5. So I thought, I will go and look. So I found two sewing journals. I got one for me, one for Alice, because she wanted to have a sewing journal of her own, and that's the one that we got for Alice. When I looked on Amazon, I bought them all on Amazon. They had, description what's included in the journal. However, there weren't any pictures of the inside available, which would be handy, but they were like between 3 and 7 pounds each. So I thought that, it's not as expensive. I can pay that little. So I was like, okay, let's see what we get. So that's the one that I got for Alice, and this one seems the most comprehensive out of all sewing journals because it has different sections. So you have a space for index, you have space for customer list, which would be very handy if you are sewing as a business. And then you have space for the supplier list, which also is handy if you are using number or like multiple suppliers. I use only few shops that I buy from, so I just know them by heart. and I visit their websites regularly, so it's not that I will forget easily about them. Now, the part for the sewing projects, and that's the awkward part. So you have a sewing project here, but the place for the sketch is on the next page. And how I know that? Because the last page of this set is like that. So of course you can just skip those 2 pages and use the setting like that, but it limits to just the garments. So it's not that you can put the bags or any kind of non-garment project here. You are limited with the mannequin for the sketch. You have a big option for measurements, which is great because for various patterns we might need various measurements, but the space for notes is relatively small. Then we have a project name, start date, deadline, for whom it for, is this occasion or not, the notes, and then we have notes and supplies. What I'm missing here is designer, I'm missing the actual size, the fabric swatch, and things like that. So it's not ideal. It would be perfect for Alice, as a beginner, but for me it's not sufficient. The last sewing journal I got is the Sewing Project Logbook. To be honest, I picked it because I liked the cover and I liked the description what's inside. And it's almost perfect. So you have 1 page per project, and you have here project name, project type, whatever it's clothing, home decor or other, and I really like that part. You have the pattern, and you have when it started, you have who it's made for, and when it's finished. The space for the pattern is very tiny, so I'm not really happy about that. Then you have a setup. You have setup for the machine, the setting, what needle, what thread, and that's brilliant. You have place for sketch and place for the materials. What I'm missing here is notes, and I'm missing the fabric swatch. There is a space for notes on this one, or there isn't. No, actually there's no even space for notes at the back, so it is limited. That's what I said. I won't be using any of those. You might ask why I said I won't be using any of those sewing journals. Because I found Stash Hub. So when Yvonne from Blossom Sandwich said that her and her husband are working on the app for sewing needs, I jumped on board. I wanted to, test it. And I downloaded the app and my phone kept crashing. I could enter 2-3 things and it would just go blank. So I uninstalled the app for a while and then I installed it again, and the same story happened. And then I think in January there was a bit more talk about Stash Hub, and someone mentioned that they were using the same phone as I do and the app is working fine now. So I said, I will just give it a try. So I downloaded the app. I had my account set up, so everything that I previously uploaded was already there, which is brilliant because it saved me a lot of work. And I said I will try. So because I already exceeded the 20 fabric limits, and I thought, I do have a lot of fabrics, I might give it a go. So I purchased the subscription. It's €4.90 a month, which isn't expensive. It's very reasonable for the volume of use I'm getting from it. And I start uploading my fabrics and I start uploading the patterns. And very often I find myself in situations where, I'm doing something and the mood strikes, like maybe not mood, inspiration strikes. And I have everything on my phone. I have almost all my fabrics. There are some bits and bobs that I haven't entered yet. And I have a bit of my patterns. I'm still going through with that. And I can actually log the project to the Stash Hub, which is amazing because I already come up with, I was doing dishes, and there was something when I was doing the dishes that I thought, oh, I need this and this for my wardrobe. I just pause it for a second, check on my Stash Hub app, do I have a fabric that will be suitable? I did. I knew that I have patterns suitable for the idea I had. So I just logged it as a project because I knew that if I don't, I will forget what my idea was. If I will have to go upstairs, look for my journal, write down in the journal, look through my physical stash to see if I have fabric available, that wouldn't happen because I would just get bored or I will get distracted by other things. And what I love also about Stash Hub app, you have option for people in your life, so for measurements. So I have Alice measurements, I have mine for now. I will add Chris's and whoever else I might need, and it helps to create the project. So I haven't created many projects. I have like 6 or 7 created. But for example, yesterday I was chatting with Tiffany from Hosier Handmade about idea for collaboration, and we come up with the pattern idea, and we come up with the theme kind of, and I wanted to check, do I have fabric in my stash, because I didn't remember, do I have anything that would be suitable for this specific project. And it was a matter of 2 minutes filtering down all the pictures, and voila, I have perfect fabric, I have perfect pattern. I just need to get my backside in a gear and put the pattern together and start sewing. So it made my life so much easier. Like, it's nice to be able to touch the fabrics, to remember how they feel, and to see the print up close, etc. in your journal. But very often, and I will show you example if I can find, the print is so large and space in the journal is so small that you can't actually see the print. Like I have here examples that I was using for Chris's boxers, so it can fit in the print because the print is too big and it's just vanishing from the hole, or like it is here. So with the Stash Hub I can actually see the physical fabric, like the whole picture of the fabric, plus I can add pictures of the finished makes, which would be very hard to do in the sewing journal. So this way I have everything in one place. It does take time to update Stash Hub. It took me a good while to update all the fabrics, and I limited myself to updating only certain fields, like type of fabric, where I got it from, and basically tags. So tags are very handy if you are looking for a specific theme or specific I don't know, inspiration. Like you can have florals, you can have stripes, you can have fruits for upcoming fruit challenge. So there's a lot of things you can use Stash Hub for. I do majority of my planning in Stash Hub now. It makes my life easier, it makes things quicker, and I love it. Will I go back to using paper planners? No, don't think I will. I will probably destash those planners, or I will see if Alice wants them or maybe one of her friends who are learning how to sew. Maybe one of them wants them. For me, Stash Hub is enough. It does take time. I won't lie, it does take time to update everything, but it's handy to have things in one place. I was searching yesterday for short patterns for Alice, and I found it very quickly, basically from which Ottobre magazine I want to find a pattern. It's just easier this way. So I highly recommend you try Stash Hub. There's few more things I love about Stash Hub. First, whenever I have a pattern, I can add notes and information about any changes. So for example, when I'm cutting out project, I can easily reach out from my phone and add the comment. For example, when I'm doing specific project, okay, extended the length of the leg or arms, or for a future remember to check things like that, and I can choose wherever I'm adding this to the specific project I'm making or to the pattern that I have recorded in the Stash Hub. And it will be handy in the future makes, because as you know, I usually do pattern few times. I think it's wasteful if you don't try pattern few times. Of course, if you like it, like you know, if you don't like it from the start, there's no point. But if you like it, you know, it's good to try it a few times. Now, what else I love about Stash Hub? The sewing challenges. You can there's an option for sewing challenges. You can add the sewing challenges to kind of like your diary thingy. There's option for stats where you can see how many fabrics you have, what colors, what shops they are from, what else. There is option for basically the same things with patterns. There is option for notions, so you can record your zippers, your threads, stuff like that. I definitely won't be recording my notions because I do love like lace trims and ribbons, and I do love zippers. So I have just way too many to enter them. I wouldn't do anything else. I'll be just entering stuff till end of the year if I would just decide to do it. So I'm just gonna focus on fabrics, patterns and projects for now. But I highly recommend you try Stash Hub. It's not sponsored or anything. I've been just using it for last few months, and I thought that I will share my thoughts with you. What do you think? Will you be using sewing journal, or you will switch to Stash Hub? Are you using sewing journals? If you have any recommendations, please leave the info in the comments below. Are you using Stash Hub? What is your favorite feature? I would love to chat with you guys in the comments. Have a lovely day. Don't forget, change your needle, clean your sewing machine. Happy sewing. Bye.